we've been here about 20 years in Lancaster County, right here.
And
In this house, actually, been about 25 years in Lancaster County, and we moved here after a little bit. So I still feel like a transplant from New York State.
and how long have you been in the bee business?
Since about 1975, so that would be about 20. I've been in the bee business about 33, 34 years. Just only part-time. I started out with just a few hives. Actually, do you want me to tell you a little bit about how I got into it?
Yeah.
Okay. From when I was little, I was interested in bees. It was always intriguing to me. And so in about 1975, I went to a place, and there was an old gentleman that belonged to our church that had a barn full of equipment. And he said, why don't I go ahead and use this equipment and try and see if I can find some bees to put in it. So I put an advertisement in the paper, and I found people that had bees in their house, and they wanted them gone. So I maybe ask them for $20 or $30, and I took the bees out and filled the hives up.
So how do you like working with them?
How do I like it? It's an interesting job. I like it. There's not a lot of pressure most of the time. Except right now when it's getting late in the year and they have to be done. The honey taken off and moved. Well, if it's the family business, I don't know, he's very avid about it, so he'll just talk and talk and talk and talk about the wonders of bees. So after a little while, you start learning.
Just sort of a little bit more about how the hive functions.
We need 3 hours for this.
Yeah, I know, it's a big question.
No, but that's the most fascinating thing about it. The bees, they operate as a unit. You know, they're sort of a cluster, and they operate all together like one thing. They still don't know whether the bees drive the queen or the queen drives the bees, but there is one queen, and maybe all the rest of them are workers, except maybe a few hundred of drones. The drones are the daddy bees, and usually the queen is mated with anywhere from 5 to 10 or 15 drones, and so depending on where the drones come from, that will make the workers differ a little bit. They did some studies already that used like all drones that were related with a queen and drones that were different with a queen. And the hives that have the many different fathers combined with the queen, you know, they actually are able to do much better at managing against diseases in the hive than single genetic pool drones, if you know what I mean by that.